have these young girls who, like, we're friendly with, beautiful, smart. They went out one night. They told me where they went. They went here for dinner. They went there for drinks. Not one guy came over to them. Not one. Anywhere. How is that possible? That would never happen when I was growing up.
Just shoot your shot. I mean, honestly, what do you actually have to lose? Just do it.
Apparently, a lot of women still don't understand why guys are stepping back when it comes to approach. They want to know why men are no longer approaching as we used to.
Guys, look at this comment. This is exactly what I'm talking about is happening, and I'm so thankful that you confirmed this. He's saying when he got into the dating world at 21, he was told not to approach a woman. So if he wants a woman, he's been told not to approach her. So now we've got women who have told men that they're toxic, but now they want to be approached because they changed their minds, or they're not going to be approaching anymore. If you're in your 20s, just forget about it. I mean, the chances of you getting approached in your 20s is like has shrunk so much because
it's just the reality of our current dating scene. They will have to start making the first move.
And then you've got.
So these modern women are kind of like those top companies, Microsoft, Amazon, Apple, a company that everybody wants to work for. They think they're that. Endless men, endless options. The only issue is that with the good options, you're also getting a lot of trash options. And it's your job to filter through those options to see which one is the best. But you're a lot of times going to get a lot of trash applicants, people who aren't really all that great for the job. You might get maybe one or two absolutely perfect candidates, and then a whole bunch of them are really good. We can work with them. Most of these women out here are looking for the absolutely perfect man. 10 out of 10, he has everything. But what they don't understand is that even with those perfect 10 out of 10 men, there are always still things that you have to work with this man. He has to do on-the-job training. He has to learn your system, how you do things at the job. And it's the same way in a relationship. This is what's confusing the men of the world. And this is why they don't approach. If you keep on putting out, I'm hiring, I'm looking for people to come work for me, but then you put out that same job posting over and over again, people catch on to that. And they have, and they start complaining about it. Like they're not really actually hiring. These employers aren't really wanting people to work. They're just doing it for some internal, I don't know. But I'm not going to continue applying because this is not a serious post. I'll spend my time writing a cover letter and updating my resume elsewhere. Well, just make it personalized for our job. No, that's too much time that I could be doing it for another company that's actually interested. And what I'm trying to say is that's a correlation and a connection to these modern women. You think that men are going to continue to do things special for you, continue to write unique posts and poetry and where you want to go specifically for you. No, you told me not to approach. I'm not going to be doing that. Leave me alone. That's it. Men just do it. No, men are cowards, whatever. Men ain't like they used to be. We're not coming up to you. That's your issue. You did it. Well, you just gotta, no, I don't gotta do nothing but take care of myself and my family. Have a good day.
Women who are like waiting to get approached. I got to tell you guys, you got to take it off the table, ladies. Take it off the table that you're going to get approached. Time to approach men. That's just the way it is. And we don't have to like it. We don't have to think it's fair. We don't have to think it's right. It's just the way it is. It's just how we are right now in society. It's just a fact of life. Taxes are up. No one likes that, but guess what? You got to pay the piper. I mean, just things are happening right now that we've created and we don't like it. But here we are. Maybe it'll change another 5 to 10 years, but for right now, you can't expect men to approach you.
As she said, it's our current reality, and as long as they are willing to approach us, it will go smoothly.
That ship has sailed.
I'm 37. I was told the same. just had a discussion with a woman saying she didn't want to be approached by a man at the club. I agree with you 100%. Nowadays, both sides go to sleep with either bruised ego or the satisfaction of pulling a power move on the other, and amidst of all these head games, love is lost. I have always been told don't approach. So how are we gonna get past the approaching stage if they don't want us to approach? It's important to clarify that most men would want to meet their special person and possibly build a life with them, but the way things are going, even the single process of meeting someone got so complex that guys are stepping back, and that's why we have this type of video. Imagine being a young man and being told that you are not supposed to approach. This type of situation is the reason our dating scene is getting complicated with time, and it's interesting when women notice the change and ask how did we get here. I can imagine how confused young men are in this generation as they want to find their person, but at the same time there are a lot of mixed information.
So now we've got women who have told men that they're toxic, but now they want to be approached because they changed their minds, or they're not going to be approaching anymore. If you're in your...
That was a good observation. It seems like they have changed their minds as they have noticed that this shift will push them to approach, and I bet most of them aren't willing to do it. We know most modern women don't have a good relationship with rejection, and that's something they will do everything they can to avoid it, and this is the reason they don't like the idea of having to make the first move. But it's something they will have to come to terms with, as guys are no longer proactive when it comes to this matter. Not long ago, most men didn't have any issues approaching, but with time things have changed, and now the ball is on women's side.
And then you've got women who are like waiting to get approached. I got to tell you guys, you've got to take it off the table, ladies. Take it off the table that you're going to get approached. Time to approach men. That's just the way it is. And
I also agree with her statement. If they approach us, the success rate will be a lot higher and it would improve the dating dynamic. To give them some incentive, I want to let them know that most guys would appreciate it.
Women are noticing the shift in the dating scene, and they are not happy about it. They want things to go back to what they used to be. They want men to start approaching them as we used to.
The younger generation, the younger generation, they don't know how to socialize. They don't. I have these young girls who we're friendly with, beautiful, smart. They went out one night. They told me where they went. They went here for dinner. They went there for drinks. Not one guy came over to them. Not one. Anywhere. How is that possible? That would never happen when I was growing up.
But why are they waiting to be approached? Why aren't they willing to make the first move since they are well capable of walking to a guy and start the conversation?
The women out there, they're sending a clear PSA, which is, you know what, instead of them vying for your gaze, the single women, they're focusing on themselves. They are tired of the apps. They're tired of the casual hookups. They are tired of the dating scene. I heard one woman say the dating pool is contaminated. It's got poop in it.
Their dating scene will get better from the moment they stop chasing Chad. Women are going out and noticing men are not approaching them, and the reason is women are focusing in themselves? Interesting. Because these ladies don't want to talk to guys, they want millionaires, not a regular guy. Because women today want a man in finance, 6'5", blue eyes, trust fund. You watch TikTok, all the girls are talking about they want a $50,000 wedding ring. They're not even realistic. And then they complain how lonely they are. Make up your minds. Do you want men or not? We are supposed to be together, not divided. This is a complete misunderstanding. She is totally confused. She thinks we are not making the first move because we don't know how to socialize, not knowing there is a different motive. But instead of worrying about why we are no longer approaching, why isn't she asking women why aren't they doing it? This is the point she should be focused on. It would improve the dynamic of our current dating scene. It was interesting when
these modern women have created total confusion and chaos in the world. Maybe you're a great leader, maybe you're a good boss, but I don't know. And it looks like the guy that's on screen, he does CBS, maybe either CBS or Fox NFL halftime show. He's got to sit there and listen to that nonsense. Instead of calling plays and calling the game, and the Bucks really doing great against the Patriots today. Fun stuff that men actually like to hear and listen to. He's got to sit there, get paid, albeit, to listen to foolishness. To listen to that woman just say, after this lady in the blue pants was like, why are these women not being approached? How? This is crazy. No men are coming up to these women. She then responds in kind, well, we don't want them to approach. We're done with the dating apps. We're done with the hookup culture. You do know that you don't have to allow a man to be in your bedroom with you. You can just say, no, thank you. I don't want that. These modern women act like they're powerless in relationships, but then also act like they're so powerful in the business world. How is that happening? We're not approaching because you've confused everybody by saying don't approach. But then there's a certain time when you want to approach. I was just listening to a young lady that talked about, on Instagram, I think it is, talked about, I really want a man, but not all the time. I want him there on maybe Monday morning, Tuesday morning, and then by the time the weekend comes, I want to go out. Then when I come home from the club, and then I want to cuddle, and then I want to wake up on Saturday or Sunday morning and then cook breakfast. And then on Monday morning, I really want you out of my hair because I'm tired of socializing. So you want convenience. You want a man that's convenient to you. You want a man around your schedule, around your clock, just whenever you want him. Like a genie. I think that's what you're talking about. Like a butler, like a servant or something like that. A servant with benefits. That's crazy work. That's diabolical work. To want that. What we gonna do with these women?
When the host made this comment,
I heard one woman say the dating pool is contaminated.
I am not surprised when she made that statement. What did she expect when most women are targeting the same small pool of men? Those are the guys who aren't committing or taking dating seriously, and for some reason, they think most men are doing the same thing, not realizing that only Chad has the privilege to have that behavior. But they can easily improve their dating scene if they were willing to look at other guys who probably would be willing to give the commitment they want. But we know those guys won't be seen as they aren't 6 feet or making 6 figures.
Single women, they're focusing on themselves.
So they are not getting approached because they are minding their own business? How does it make sense?
She doesn't know what to do anymore. She is complaining that guys are no longer coming up to her, and she is getting worried. She never thought it would get to this stage. The interesting part is that she is not alone. Many other women expressed the same concern in the comment section. They are also experiencing the same thing.
Hi y'all, I have a question. So I know I'm not ugly. I know, and that's just real. I know I'm a cute little piece of, I'm cute. But when I tell you, nobody asks me on dates, nobody DMs me, and y'all probably be like, well, nobody you probably like. No, girl. All across the board, it be mute, quiet.
If you think guys are quiet, just make some noise and I bet they will be willing to follow up.
In my messages, nobody's ever like, I like you, I'm attracted to you, let me take you out. Nobody. And I'm starting to think am I intimidating? Or are people do people actually think oh, she's too good for me, she got her life together? Cause no shade, if y'all thinking that, are you kidding me, y'all?
Y'all need to leave the house. Go out and socialize. Men will approach. I have the same problem and it's been driving me crazy for years. Feminine energy is key. I think men are scared to ask people out these days. Are people really being asked out? Same. I've convinced myself it's God's protection. I'm pretty enough for a hookup, not a relationship. They're intimidated for sure. We all know what she means by nobody is messaging me. She obviously has some DMs, but it's probably not from the guys she wants, and that's why she doesn't count them. Since it wasn't sent by Chad, it means nothing, and this is the main issue with our current dating scene. She wouldn't have made this video complaining about the lack of men's interest if she was willing to give an opportunity to Michael, who works at a warehouse.
Nobody. And I'm starting to think am I intimidating?
They need to take this out of their mind. Being intimidating is the last reason you are not being approached. The best thing she can do to improve her dating life is to realize that she is probably targeting a crowded demographic, and that's the reason for her unsuccess when it comes to finding someone. Until she understands this fact, her results are most likely to be the same.
Instead of helping women when it comes to approaching, she decided to encourage us to do it. In my opinion, she should try to help women so they stop being afraid of rejection and start making the first move.
This is for the guys that have a fear of rejection with asking a woman out. So if you are in a position right now where you feel like you're being rejected or you fear rejection, that's okay, that's completely normal. But what is necessary for you to do is to take a risk. I always say you got two shots when you ask out a woman. The first one is always the feelers. You are putting out your feelers, you're seeing how she reacts, you're seeing if she's going to say yes. If she says no straight away, that's a no, and respect her.
Why do we have to take that risk? Why isn't she directing her guidance to women? Since they are complaining about not being approached, I think it would make sense to teach them how to do it themselves.
I'm not taking a risk. And most men won't, because you said not to come up here and don't even bother. The risk that you would take, the risk that you would overcome, the fear of rejection that you would overcome, they be mean about it. They be rude about it. So a man's not going to want to ask that. It's more of men, just take a chance. Just come over here. Don't worry about what they say. Okay. I think men are okay. They're fine taking the risk and stepping out there, drumming up the courage to do it, because that's just how men are. If you would give them choosing signals, if you would let them know wholeheartedly, I'm interested in you. That's why the narrator is saying you don't need to be talking so much to men, but you need to be focused on women and what they've been telling men to do and not to do. Men don't listen. Men have listened. And that's why you're not getting approached. Try again.
If she says, yeah, here's my number, or here's my Instagram, or yeah, you know, let's meet up, then you shoot your shot the second time. So the second time is going to be your answer. The first time is the feelers. And guys, you have to take a risk. You have to take a risk, okay? Because I know there's this whole situation with being in the gym, and so I understand that there's a lot of women that are crying out for men to be, one, more masculine, but two, respectful in their approach. So it's a fine line. You don't have to come across aggressive, but you have to have some sort of passion and excitement that you want to, you know, take to meet this girl, take her out on a date. You have to be a bit more of a risk taker, and women will accept it, and you will get your answer, whether it be the first time or the second time that you ask them out. So do something different today. Go against your fear, go against the grain, and see what happens. And let me know in the comment section.
There be no rejection when you will not try. It gets pretty boring when you take hundreds of risks, but nothing ever works.
I really gotta say, thank you for the encouragement, because it sounds like she's really trying to help. It's just, once again, the women have said, don't come over here. And some women get so drastic that, man, like, you know, I don't want to do that. What this man's going through, I don't want to do that. I think a lot of these women, a lot of these modern women need to take a class in psychology, really, to be honest with you. Then they would know how humans behave and how some of their behaviors, a lot of their behaviors are detrimental to what they're actually wanting. I was listening to, what's her name? Layla Hormozi, I think it is, the wife of Alex Hormozi. I think that's how you say their last name. But essentially, she was talking about letting your emotions influence you. And she talked about how she used to cry a lot. Sometimes her and her husband would be talking, and they would be at a deadlock, at a standstill about how they saw things. And she would cry about it. She wouldn't be trying to, but she would get so frustrated, she'd start crying about it. And then her husband, Alex, would get upset. He was like, why are you crying? Like, there's literally no reason to be crying. And then somebody would give in. And she said it would usually be me because I'm like, I don't care anymore. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Just like you do it. Let's do it your way. And he would get whatever he was trying to do. But then she stepped back and she's like, okay, the next time I go into this discussion with my husband, I need to figure out how to appeal to him. He's logical. He thinks logical. So I have to present to him in a way that he understands. And when I started doing that, because I did feel the urge to cry, but I would fight with all that was in me to not cry. And then I start presenting to him, this is the way it is. This is the way I see it because of X, Y, and Z, and present to him the way he understands it. Then he started saying, yeah, man, it's a great idea. It's fantastic. And he's removed from a lot of the business decisions that we go through the day to day, but he relies on me to give him the facts, the statistics, the data. And most of these modern women don't even think about that. And that's a shame. They just want a man to cater to them. Feel how I feel. You be emotionally connected and synced with me. Be emotionally available. Be emotionally intelligent. But unfortunately, and I really hate to say it like this, a lot of these women, some of these women, modern women that subscribe to modern ideology, the modern agenda, they're not logically available. They're not logically intelligent. And they continue to allow the man to present to them in a way that they understand. Just come to me, meet me on my terms. But they never ever, or when they do, it's few and far between that they make this effort to come to a man's side of the tracks and say, you know what? I see what you're saying. I see what you mean. Let me make sure you know you need to come over here and get me. You, my man, come over here, get me right now. You know, it ain't got to be no, we sleeping together on the first night, but just let the man know. Well, how do I do that? You figure it out. Number one. Number two, a man's going to tell you how you get his attention. Try it. A man can bring you roses. Well, roses, what are these? That's what some women out here have done. And it's caused the man to be like, whoa, that's crazy. Literally, it'd be one thing. Once again, I say this all the time. It'd be one thing if you wasn't doing it on social media. But you guys get here and you flex on social media about the foolishness that you done to guys. And you think it's you think it's funny. They laughing in the comments. Stupid. You don't know, they understand that. Millionaires could be watching this. Steve Jobs, did you ever really see Steve Jobs in a suit? Do you ever really see Bill Gates in a suit? No. Billionaires. Jay-Z don't really be walking out the house in a suit. There's a lot of millionaires and billionaires walking among you that walk around in gym clothes, shorts. They don't walk around noticeable to you. Walk right past you. And the only way that you would know that they're millionaires is because they might be wearing one little piece of expensive clothing. It's small, but it's something that they splurged on. Man, I notice this cologne, man, that's expensive cologne. Hey, what do you do? And then that's how you know, by striking up a conversation with him or her. But a lot of these people out here are not flashy. And you're not going to know that because you're looking for the yachts and the boats and the plane rides and the steak dinners. And you're missing people because you're materialistic. You're not presenting yourself in a way that they can understand you. Do men need to get better? Sure. Do men need to take a risk? Sure. Fantastic. But once a man puts himself out there, you got to be ready to receive it. You got to be ready to pick up the ball and run with it. The man then handed it off to you. I heard the woman say, get her number. A number don't mean nothing nowadays. You can get her number, her Instagram or whatever it is. She'll fool around and block you before you get to the car. Because they plan, I didn't feel safe. I chose the bear. Oh man, he was really imposing. He was strong. So I just let him have it, and stupid stuff. And I understand that you can feel how you feel. There's certain times that I get it. And so if that sounds harsh to say that you feel stupid, like you look stupid saying that, I'm sorry about that. But the way you categorize guys and wonder why you can't get a man is because you see every single man, including the millionaires, as enemies. Only by your criteria, only by your logic, which we know is flawed, do you see a man that's approachable, that you want to be around. And when you approach him, that man's already got the options that you're looking for. That's why you're approaching him, because he's got plenty of options. That's most likely the case. You guys continue to look for a diamond in the... Anyway, y'all get it. Y'all get it. Listen, at some point in time, I would hope that these women, the title of the video is Women Are Confused. They wonder why men are no longer approaching. Just at least listen to what men are saying. Implement one thing every so often and let a man work with you on the rest and you work with him. Is that so hard to do? But anyway, that's just my opinion. Until the next video, I'm out.